as a fighter, you see them and you see what they've done. And then when you get the opportunity, I want to win. I want to beat him as well. He's been up there a while and he's had his day. So now is my time. I'm really confident and ready to fight. I feel like it's going to be a bloodbath in there. You know, it's just going to be war, and I'm going to go to war 100%. You know, no doubt in my mind, I'm coming out victorious.
When Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois sat down with Piers Morgan, the atmosphere was quiet but charged. There was no shouting, no trash talk, just a heavy silence filled with tension. This wasn't just a promotion for a fight. It was about pride, unfinished business, and two men who still see what.
It's like a switch, being in a fight mode. And right now, I'm just ready to get all this stuff out of the way so I can get back to what I know I do best. But right now, I'm just chill. Ready for a fight, though.
Is there anything that he could say to you that would trigger?
Maybe, we don't know. We don't know yet.
Oleksandr, how do you feel? It's an unusual.
I feel good.
Do you mind being this
close? No problem. Listen, you know, it's like wolf, sheep, and the two box. Like a wolf said, like a relax. This.
Is there anything that he could say to you?
No.
One pivotal moment in very different ways. Their last encounter in the ring left more questions than answers, at least in Dubois' eyes. In round 5, Dubois landed a powerful shot to Usyk's body, sending the Ukrainian to the canvas in clear pain. But the referee ruled it a low blow, giving Usyk time to recover. The fight resumed, and Usyk eventually...
An extraordinary couple of years. You've come back from losing, but we're going to come to that, whether you think you lost or not in the first fight, with the alleged low blow. I have a view, I'll express it. But when you knocked out Anthony Joshua, that was the punch that went around the world. That was the punch that said, you are not only back, you're the champ. And now you're taking on the guy who's got the other belts.
Yeah.
How confident are you that you can beat him?
Very confident. Very, very confident.
But why? He's never lost.
I believe I'm going to be the first man to do it, and do it in England, do it in London. So I don't want to go on too much, but I feel like it's all built. All this road, all of what I've been through has led me to this point to become undisputed champion and do it in London and back at Wembley. So can't wait.
Ollie stopped Dubois a few rounds later. But for Dubois, that ruling changed everything. He didn't just lose a match, he left the ring feeling robbed. That sense of injustice still burns in him. During the interview, he calmly but firmly stated his belief. The shot was legal, and
When you look at him, does that not concern you that this guy's just made a
really? I see another opponent. To me, I feel like it's going to be a bloodbath in there. You know, it's just going to be war, and I'm going to go to war 100%. You know, no doubt in my mind, I'm coming out victorious.
From various angles. My understanding, Daniel, is that the law says if it's the belt line, a punch, it's legal.
Yeah.
From that angle, from other angles, it looks to me, I'm not an expert, but it looks to me like you hit him on the belt line.
Yeah, that's it.
Which if you had, then you would have won that fight, because Oleksandr actually took about 4 minutes, which he was allowed to do, 4 minutes before he got back into fighting. Do you feel a bit robbed by what happened there?
Yeah, definitely.
You think it was a legitimate blow?
That really was. That landed, you didn't see him grab his balls. He went down, and that was a legitimate knockdown.
Do you think you knocked him out?
the fight should have ended right there. Even Piers Morgan, watching the footage, admitted it looked like a body shot. Dubois didn't argue or raise his voice. He didn't need to. His conviction has only deepened with time.
Yes.
It's not clean.
Really?
Yes.
It's very close.
Yeah, it's maybe like this, because punch was like a boom and fist go up. Listen, it's problem for referee and coach who study clean, not как грязный, dirty punch.
Dirty punch?
Yes.
You think?
Yes.
Deliberate?
This was dirty punch.
Across from him, Usyk offered his perspective. He called the punch borderline, not blatantly illegal, but not clean either. True to form, he didn't dwell on it.
Think about it, but you know the risk that you're taking, and life's a risk. You could walk outside, get run over, anything can happen, but in this sport, I'm prepared for this risk. This is a risk that I know that I've been trained from since I was, 5 or 7 years old. So I'm more
Calm, composed, and always a step ahead, Usyk chose not to debate. That's his style, measured, focused, and relentlessly forward-looking. Still, both men are locked in. Dubois says the switch has flipped. He's ready, laser-focused, and sees this as his moment of redemption. He believes he's coming not just to fight, but to rewrite a chapter he believes was stolen from him. This rematch isn't fueled by trash talk. It's powered by quiet determination. Dubois wants justice. Usyk wants closure. Both want to erase any doubt. This isn't just a title bout. It's about settling the score with finality. No controversy, no confusion, no what-ifs, just war. And that's exactly what Usyk is prepared for. Outside the ring, eyes are locked on the
Daniel Dubois against Oleksandr Usyk. Realistically, has he got any chance? We've got 30 seconds.
Of course he has. Look, it's a tough ask, of course. You know, the thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you if you let him. Dubois, good luck. Don Charles, good luck. Great British boxing, good luck. We potentially might have a heavyweight championship back on our soil.
This fight, not just fans, but fellow fighters who understand the stakes. Anthony Joshua, who's faced Usyk twice, knows exactly how tough it is to deal with a man like him. Usyk doesn't overwhelm opponents with brute force. He dismantles them with skill, timing, and patience. When asked about Dubois' chances, Joshua was honest. He didn't write Dubois off, but he didn't sugarcoat the challenge either. To Joshua, Usyk is dangerous not because he can knock you out with a single punch, but because he can take control of a fight round by round, making his opponents feel trapped. He's a technician in the ring, and that kind of pressure is exhausting. Still, Joshua understands the emotional drive behind Dubois' mission. This isn't just a fight. It's a chance to bring something big back home. And no matter how steep the mountain, Dubois isn't climbing it alone. That support, Joshua says, matters. While Joshua offered a measured view, Simon Jordan brought full belief. He didn't hedge. He didn't wait.
I said it to Oleksandr Usyk, and there's no favoritism here. I think it's Daniel Dubois' time. I think he's a ferocious
I have to agree with
beast. Yeah, absolutely. and I think he deserves all the plaudits. I think what walked into Wembley Stadium was an absolute gladiator, and I'm thrilled for him that he's coming out of himself, growing as a man, becoming more worldly and able to communicate with the media, and I think it's going to be a fabulous fight.
Do you believe that he can get it done inside the distance?
I think he has to get done inside the distance.
Yeah. You don't think he can win on points?
I think it's unlikely.
Yeah.
I think it's unlikely. But whatever, July 19th, brilliant.
Favor. To him, this is Dubois' time. Jordan sees a fighter who's grown, not just in the ring, but as a man. From how he handles pressure to how he engages with the media, Jordan sees maturity, confidence, and a quiet strength that wasn't always there before. But Jordan's confidence comes with a warning. If Dubois is going to win, he needs to do it inside the distance. He doesn't believe Dubois can outpoint Usyk over 12 rounds, not because of bias, but because of styles. Usyk's movement, footwork, and ring IQ make a decision win almost impossible for most heavyweights. So for Dubois, the path is clear. Break Usyk early, or watch the opportunity slip away. Simon Jordan might believe it.
Does he have to knock Usyk out to win this fight? And is he walking in against the same Usyk, given the fact that Usyk's been in 2 battles with Tyson Fury?
Yeah, you're not going to win a boxing match against Usyk.
It's got to knock him out.
I think let's all agree on that.
Yeah. So that's
the same thing when we went to Poland. We're not going to outbox Usyk and win on points. The same thing applies to this this fight, upcoming fight. Yeah, by any means necessary, But if it happens to go points, Usyk won't be in a good state to, we will win. But the game plan is to go there, seek and destroy. Always is. And we will be.
Daniel Dubois' rise, but Don Charles, Dubois' trainer, is all in. No hesitation, no conditions. He's not hoping for a knockout. He's planning for one. Charles has no illusions about who they're facing. In his eyes, you don't try to outbox Oleksandr Usyk. That path doesn't exist. Usyk's experience, movement, and boxing IQ make him almost untouchable over 12 rounds. So Charles isn't looking to win on the cards. He's looking to end it early. He's seen this scenario before. When they fought in Poland, Charles knew they couldn't rely on the judges. That mentality carries through now. The strategy is simple. Seek and destroy. This isn't about edging close rounds or trying to win by points. If it goes the distance, so be it. But only after making Usyk walk through fire to get there. The goal isn't just to win. It's to push Usyk into a place he's never been before. A place where even if he survives, he leaves the ring changed. For Don Charles, July 19th.
Come on, let's not sit on the fence here. How does the rematch go? Repeat or revenge?
I think you'd be stupid to not say repeat, because Oleksandr Usyk is the #1 heavyweight of our generation. But if there's any one heavyweight out there right now that can give Usyk trouble or possibly beat him, it is Daniel Dubois. But I go with Usyk because you would be stupid not to. The guy's a genius at what he does in the ring, and he proved he can tough it out with Tyson Fury, those 2 victories over Fury, the 2 victories over Anthony Joshua. He can deal with the big men as well, so he always finds a way. Usyk is one of the best fighters of all time in the heavyweight division.
We were having this chat before we came on air as we ran through our notes tonight, and I do agree with you. I think that it's hard to pick against Usyk, but I truly believe that for 5 rounds, and I think he should try and detonate for 5 rounds, Dynamite Dubois, Triple D, will be very, very dangerous.
He's the most dangerous heavyweight in the division that can give him a problem right now.
Isn't just another date. It's a mission. And he's convinced Dubois is coming out of that ring victorious. From a trainer's confidence to a pundit's insight, Spencer Oliver brings a more balanced, but still passionate, perspective. When asked if this rematch will be repeat or revenge, he didn't hesitate. You'd be foolish to bet against Oleksandr Usyk. To Oliver, Usyk is more than just a champion. He's the best heavyweight of this generation, a ring genius, a master tactician who doesn't just hold his own against bigger men, he beats them. He's already outclassed Anthony Joshua twice and endured the storm that was Tyson Fury. No matter the opponent, Usyk finds a way. But Oliver isn't blind to what Dubois brings. He called Dubois the most dangerous heavyweight in the world right now, especially in the first 5 rounds. If Dubois can land early, everything could flip. That kind of raw, explosive power is what makes this matchup so compelling.
But the narrative is much better for the Dubois rematch. You've got the fact that they fought, and then since then Dubois has been on a tear, beating guys that he was the underdog against, Ergovich, and then Anthony Joshua, of course. You know, the guy has really revamped his entire career, turned it around, gone from a guy that people saw as a quitter to being potentially the most dangerous man in the world. So you've got this narrative now that Dubois is a different guy, so this rematch will be different. Also, you have the fact that Usyk, in the ring after his win over Tyson Fury, Dubois came into the ring, challenged him, and Usyk said, Your Excellency, Turkey, make the fight with Dubois. He's a man of his word. That guy says something, good chance it's going to happen. So I believe the narrative is there, for this fight, obviously, and this is one of the reasons why it's being made.
With Usyk's brilliance, Oliver emphasized Dubois can't afford to wait. He has to go for it from the opening bell, because once Usyk finds his rhythm, he becomes almost impossible to beat. Oliver still leans toward Usyk to win, but he warns everyone not to count Dubois out. One shot can change everything. Picking up from Oliver's breakdown, Chris Algieri steps back from the technical and zooms in on the story. because this rematch has one of the most
after the fight.
These guys are begging now for the payday because they know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them. Oleksandr Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division. He is the big name. Yeah. And I take my hat off to Anthony Joshua and I take my hat off to Tyson Fury because they had the cojones to face him, as did Daniel Dubois. But let's not get away from anything. Daniel Dubois fought him once and we've seen how that fight went. Yeah. Everyone goes on about a shot. Let's just be brutally honest, it hit the protector. Why is it called a protector? Because it protects you from certain shots. Was it like, did anyone look at the belt line of Tyson Fury before the fight?
It was high, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was,
really
I mean,
high.
I was going to ask what's the neck on them shorts.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It was nuts. But no one said anything.
No.
But then ultimately when Oleksandr Usyk fights Daniel Dubois and his shorts are on his navel and you can clearly see his belly button at times in the fight, no one said, all of a sudden his shorts are high. So it's whatever suits people's narrative and agendas at the time. For people who are Fury fans, they want to say Usyk's done this or he's robbed that. For people who are Dubois fans, just look at the cold, hard facts. He hits him on the protector. The protector's called the protector for a reason. And then ultimately, look at how the fight ended up. I mean, he had enough.
On his knees, wasn't he, by the end?
Compelling arcs in heavyweight boxing today. Dubois didn't just return after a controversial stoppage in their first fight. He came back with a vengeance. He went on a tear, defeating opponents where he entered as the underdog, including a huge upset win over Anthony Joshua. That comeback, Algieri notes, transformed Dubois from a fighter fans questioned into one they fear. He's no longer the man who folded under pressure. He's become the one who might fold you. And the setup for the rematch is perfect. After Usyk's victory over Tyson Fury, Dubois stormed the ring, called him out on the spot, and Usyk, calm as ever, nodded and said, "Make the fight." According to Algieri, when Usyk says something like that, it means something. He's a man of his word. This isn't just about belts anymore. It's about unfinished business, legacy, and proving something deeper. That's what makes this rematch electric. Then there's Tony Bellew, never one to hold back. He called Usyk the king of the heavyweight division, the one every fighter is chasing. According to Bellew, guys like Dubois aren't calling out Usyk for the legacy, they're chasing the payday. He gave credit to Joshua and Fury for taking on the challenge, but when it came to Dubois, he was blunt. The low blow controversy? Bellew brushed it aside, saying the shot landed on the protector. And there's a reason it's called that. To him, all the noise around that moment is just that. Noise. In his view, Dubois took a knee, and Usyk didn't. That's the truth that matters. So here we are again, two very different heavyweights on a collision course. Usyk, the master technician, calm and composed, who has already danced with giants and beaten them. And Dubois, the recharged destroyer, no longer burdened by doubt, now fueled by fire, vengeance, and knockout power. This rematch isn't just about titles. It's about redemption. It's about legacy. It's about two men fighting to define the next chapter of heavyweight boxing. July 19th, the world will be watching. Who walks out with glory? Let us know in the comments below.